Uh, Thanks for joining in. It's so good to see you. And and thanks to Christina, who is my beautiful mentor and who is going to share some of the goodness of the superfood protocol and the life and everything, how she has experienced it for the last 5 years, right?
Almost
And
4.5, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm new, I haven't, my package is still in JFK. It hasn't arrived yet, but like I have just fed myself with all the stories. I think I can say that way, that I feel already nourished by being part of the community and hearing all the amazing stories about these protocols and how people experience life changes and inner transformations. So yeah, maybe Christina, um, I'll give it to you, and yeah, maybe you can just share how you came across, your experience about superfoods and how it has changed your like daily life, your health, your household.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I know everybody's time is valuable, and some of you set alarms and are giving up sleep to be here, or maybe giving up time with your family. So I really want to make this time worthwhile for you. And I really want to honor Ilza for bringing all of us together here. We just started working together in the last few weeks, and it's been a real joy to connect with this beautiful woman, beautiful mother, beautiful artist, beautiful, lover of life is really what I'm witnessing. And it doesn't surprise me that she's attracted some wonderful people to come and learn about something that she's excited about. So I'm happy to be here and share with you my story and answer questions and, help anybody discover what we have and see if this could be a good fit for what you might be looking for in your life. So my story really started about 5 years ago. I was hearing about Purium for the first time. And at that time in my life, my husband and I were working on cultivating our farm. We had gotten land and we had the vision of growing gardens and lots of food and feeding our community and herbal medicine and having little structures on the land so people could come and stay there like a retreat. And we could raise our children and have other families live there and live in community together and have art studios and places to gather and for music and education and all the things. So if you have ever had that dream, or you know of anybody who's working on something like that, go ahead and like raise your hand, or you can even, if you're familiar with Zoom, you can put a chat in there. Let me know if that's something that's familiar for you. And if not, this is just my version of my dream, and everybody has, different versions of what their dream life looks like. And so for me, I actually grew up every summer in Europe. I grew up every summer in Sweden with a huge family, and we came together at every dinner all summer long. So that was really the imprint of, wow, I want to live like this all year, not just in the summer, all these cousins and running around and long days. But how can I have a whole life like this? So that was really the idea of how can we come together and live in community. So my husband and I were working on this, and we started having children. We were growing our gardens. We started from scratch with raw land, and we quickly realized this is going to take a lot more money than what we have, that people who do things like this have big budgets. They have some sort of inheritance, or they've developed income in some way that we hadn't. I don't know why it didn't occur to us before, but I think we're just big dreamers. So it was in my mind to keep an eye out for how could this money come our way to build this farm. And that's when this company came into my life. And I also understood that they had this nourishing superfoods protocol to help people feel deeply nourished and also detoxify, that we have many toxins that we're exposed to in our environment, from the food supply, the chemicals that are being, some food is being grown with, you know, different chemicals that some of us have been exposed to from medicine, from this pharmaceutical industry, and also environmental toxins. And that in order to really thrive optimally, that we needed to have a system to detoxify, to release the toxins on a cyclical basis, and also to deeply nourish, to really feel, to thrive and give our body everything it needs to do its own healing and to build and perform in the best way it can. So earlier, before I found the superfoods, I had been introduced to raw foods and cleansing, and I discovered how amazing I could feel by going on juice fasts and eating raw foods and doing other cleansing techniques. I felt about 10 years younger than I had before. And that was when I was about 27 years old. And I felt all my pain go away, and I became really flexible and light and had digestive issues clear up and skin clear. So I knew the power of living foods. But then once I became a mom, it was a lot harder to cleanse and fast and do some of those things. So when I was hearing about Purium, I, at that point, had been eating a lot more heavier foods. If you're a mother and you know what it's like to nurse a baby, it's hard to get yourself enough nutrition. So I was eating heavier foods, and I felt like, yeah, it would feel really nice to do a cleanse and let go of some of this and feel the kind of vibrancy I used to feel before I was a mother, very light and strong and joyful. So I was interested in learning more about these superfoods for those reasons. One, because I could build an income stream, and two, because of this hope that I could feel more energy and feel lighter and stronger and more alive and have my emotions more balanced and more mental clarity. These were the things that I was hearing about from other people. So I was interested enough to give it a try. And when I had my first experience, I quickly felt this incredible feeling of being nourished for the first time in my life. And I had been raw vegan, I had been vegetarian, I had been vegan, I had eaten animal products. We had had a cow at some point, we were milking. I had eaten local grass-fed meat, free range. So I had tried all of the different ways to eat, and nothing felt as nourishing and grounding and strong and clear as these superfoods helped me to feel. So I knew there was something really special, and what really makes these products unique from anything else out there, there's a few points. So one is they're grown, and first of all, let me just let me know if, you know, put a 2 in the comments if you're with me, if this is making sense, if it's sounding exciting. I just want to make sure it's landing for all of you. And I think I had some Brussels sprouts for dinner. I feel like I have some in my teeth. There we go. Okay, so and drop a 3 if you're like, I'm not really sure what you're talking about, if it needs more clarity. Because this is really for you, and maybe you don't know how to use the chat, and that's okay too. So shall I keep talking, or does anybody have any questions so far?
Join in, guys. Just don't be shy, you know, like Christina is really here to to answer your questions, like I brought you here mostly about the superfoods, and yeah, maybe I was just watching your stories, Christina, on Instagram this morning, that where you shared, how you started the yoga and how you were trying to manage the swimming class with kids, and how this and maybe a bit more about the 30-day protocol, I would say.
Yeah, I was just about to get into that. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
we're all on
Yeah.
board here. So as a farmer, I was really, I didn't think I needed superfoods. I didn't think my plan was just to eat locally grown, fresh produce. So this was a new concept for me. But what I came to learn when I tried the products for the first time and felt that feeling of being so deeply nourished, I understood that there's a few things that make these products really unique from even just me growing my own food in my own garden. So one is that the soil is so mineralized. The vegetables and the grasses, the wheatgrass, all these things are grown on this ancient lava bed. So this volcanic ash is highly mineralizing the soil, and they use all organic practices of composting and crop rotation and all of these things to keep building the soil. So it's very, very fertile, and the mineral and nutrient spectrum is much higher than in my own garden. So that was one thing. And their commitment to purity is really high. So they don't allow for any kind of, no chemicals at all, no contaminants, no mold, no nothing at all is allowed. A lot of products out there do allow a little bit. And when they get tested by a third party, they detect these contaminants. So our product is, of the highest standard there. And then, I don't know how big this is in Europe, but in the United States, we have a lot of glyphosate is being found in our food supply. I'm thinking that it's actually banned in certain European countries, but I don't know which ones. And then of course you're importing some foods, so that maybe you are importing some, but this is also called Roundup, and it's this chemical that is used on a lot of GMO crops and just a lot of crops in general to kill the herb. It's an herbicide, it kills the weeds, but they also use it in the harvesting process to kill the plant off, to make it easier to harvest. It's horrible. And it's a carcinogen, it's causing cancer, there's lawsuits, so it's really unavoidable, at least in the United States. Like I said, I don't know how it is in Europe, but here it's really amazing that we have a product that takes it out of our bodies and repairs the gut biome. In general, most people all over the world, especially in civilized countries, have issues with the gut microbiome. Most of the population of the gut flora has been disturbed. So to do this gut healing is really amazing. So what I experienced when I first tried this, I had 2 babies. I was nursing at the time with my second one. I was really depleted. I didn't know what depletion was until I was no longer depleted. Then I understood, oh, that's what that was. After, giving birth to 2 babies and nursing them, I had, given so much of my nutrients away that my energy was low. My emotions were low. My hormones were unbalanced. I was trying to fill by eating heavier foods, and I would get some skin breakouts, some rashes here and there. I had a lot of digestive issues my whole life with bloating and gas. So all of this cleared up when I started the 30-day protocol. It's basically a system of flooding your body with nutrition with these shakes. It has the vegetables and the grasses and everything grown on the farm are harvested, washed, juiced, and then low temperature wind dehydrated through this like incredible silo system where the the wind blows the juice crystals and separates it from the water. So it's not heat dehydrated, and that maximizes the enzymes. So it's highly, highly vital. When you add water, it's super vibrant and you can feel it's a living food. Like everybody shares these stories of the first time they drink the shake, it's like the lights come on inside your body and you feel it go into all your cells and you just really come alive. And I felt that, and I felt each day go by, I just felt like a deflated balloon that just like, you know, like came up. And even after 4.5 years, I'm still taking these superfoods every day. I don't think I've gone a day without them, maybe one day. And most people say I never want to skip a day. It just feels so good and so alive. So I felt a lot of joy return to my life. I had started to get into that place where I would wake up in the morning and just think, oh gosh, I have to do another day of this life. And then after these superfoods, I would just be like, I'm so excited to start another day. This life is amazing. And I had a much better capacity to be a mother, more patience, more happiness, and to be a wife, which is helpful. It helps on so many levels. It actually even brings your libido back. It opens up, and it addresses your sexual health, because it's also addressing the hormones. So emotional, physical, just all of the parts. I felt certain aches and pains in my joints go away. I felt very light and springy, like I could just sort of bounce through life because I had so much energy. And I got into fitness for the first time. I had never followed a fitness regimen before, but I got into taking classes. I had so much energy and could really like focus on my fitness for the first time after having 2 children. And so the way that the program works is you get 30 days worth of superfoods, and you can modify it based on your lifestyle. So for me, I was still nursing. I wasn't about to, go hungry. I was still eating lots of food every day, drinking these superfood shakes and taking the herbal capsules that were helping my gut. There's one product I didn't take because I was nursing at the time. And with the European package, it's slightly different. So there are some differences in it, but all of it is basically the same in that it's really dense cellular nutrition, high mineralization, and then it has these herbs to help pull toxins gently out of the body. And you're flushing it all out by drinking lots of water, tea, juices, and also what we call flex foods, which are fruits and vegetables, and hopefully organic if you can get organic. And then also, they're high water content fruits, not so much the sweet things like bananas, but more berries and apples and melons if you have access to that. And then celery and cucumbers. And then you can do cooked vegetables too, have soups or sautés or steamed vegetables. And then if doing the deeper cleanse doesn't sound like anything that you're ready to do or you want to do, then you can do a modified version where you just keep eating what you're eating and you just add these superfoods in. You just have a shake. Maybe it replaces your breakfast, maybe it replaces your lunch, or maybe it's just a snack in between. Some people find that they are able to stop taking pharmaceutical drugs that they were taking before. Some people are able to replace coffee. Some people stop smoking cigarettes or stop drinking alcohol. And I think the most beautiful thing is that when you give this nutrition to your body, you are literally resetting your body system so that it now is going to give you clearer messages of what it wants. So it changes your taste buds and it changes your cravings. So maybe you have like many people have sugar addiction and you just want the sweets all the time. This will change it so your body starts to crave other foods. And it doesn't have to take so much strength and willpower to not eat the bad stuff. It's like your body's like, oh, I don't want that. I don't want that processed food. I want these fruits and vegetables. I want this healthy, wholesome meal instead. So that I think is really great because we're not fighting our body. We're just working together to make some really good choices for us. So all in all, it's helped my whole family have more fruits and vegetables in our life. My kids enjoy some of the shakes. They go in and out of different things. There's also different kinds of juices that dehydrated juices. So that's, pretty much an overview. Most people come out of it feeling very similar results, get rid of the bloating, more energy, get rid of the brain fog, more strength. And thank you for joining. Yeah, we can get you that. Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear Roundup is prohibited in the EU. I had a feeling. And a lot of people actually talk about how they can go to Europe and eat foods that if we eat them in the United States, we feel horrible, but then we can eat them in Europe, no problem. So I'm just reading the chat here now. So that's pretty much an overview and a little bit about my product experience. Over the years, I've come to continue to feel better and better and better. I stay on these products every day. I'm still eating food. I still eat meals. I still cook with my family and all that. This is an addition to what we do. And usually every season I do this 30-day transformations, kind of just like, like in your car, you clean out the filters, every once in a while, you just clean it out and you clean your house and you just go and clean out the system because it's gentle. It's not, you don't have to go hungry. You don't have to be weak. So it's very doable for anybody who's a householder. And then I stay on it, every day, just a milder version. And I feel amazing. I feel younger and stronger than I ever have in my life. I feel younger than when I started 4.5 years ago. So I love sharing. And then with the income, I've been able to, just by sharing my story like this with people and helping other people share their story, I've been able to grow an income online that's now supporting the development of our farm and hiring farm workers and building our buildings and paying for equipment and stuff like that. So the company is really on a mission to help people feel better, to help people take sovereignty over their health and just feel alive and come alive and be able to live a long life full of vitality. That's really the company's mission, and to help people get off of processed foods, off of chemical foods, off of chemical drugs, if possible. Sometimes it's not possible, and that's okay. But as much as possible, to help people make these healthier choices and then help the planet by using our resources more wisely. The company's going plastic free this year, so all the packaging will be compostable. Most of it already is. And they really help a lot of organic and regenerative farmers, and just so many ways that the company is just really creating a better planet and better communities through health and also financial well-being. So that's pretty much what I have to share, and I'm open to taking any questions, anything that you want to hear more of, or any concerns, anything that anybody wants to share, or comments too.
Yeah, there are a few comments actually.
Yeah. So how often do you have to proceed with the plan? I might have to have you explain that question. Do you mean the superfoods? And then, or I could ask your next question. Does it work as an MLM regarding the distribution of the product? So yes, it is partially a multi-level marketing generational pay plan. combined with affiliate marketing programs. So the way that it would work, if and people have a choice, they can be just a customer. They could just take in the products and enjoy the products, do a transformation, and month to month continue on their maintenance protocol. I'm on a call right now.
I know, but I need money.
No, yeah, I'm on it. I'm leading a call. Just come back, you know? And then you also can find your card. Okay, thank you. You can close the door. And it's something we can do from home as a mom. I have 3 boys over here right now. So it's very flexible work. And that was something that was important to me because I was already a stay-at-home mom when I got started. So the way that it works is when you get your package of superfoods, you either choose to be a customer or to be a brand partner, and it's the same price. I still have to learn a little bit more about the European system. There might be a few differences. So I'm really speaking from my experience with the US system. They are joined, but they're not entirely the same. So Ilza and I are together pioneering and discovering. But there are many people there who are using it. There are people having great success. So essentially what happens is when you get your products, you get this, you can choose to have a business with it. And if you choose to have that, you have a gift code. And when somebody that you're sharing with, let's say your sister says, well, that sounds amazing, I want to do that with you. Say, great, here's how to make your purchase. And here's my gift code. This is going to get you a discount when you make your purchase. And when your sister purchases, that links her to your account. You get a commission on her purchase. And if she is a happy customer and keeps ordering every month, then you continue to get commissions on every purchase she makes. Now, if she's also a brand partner and she shares with customers and brand partners, you also earn commissions on the purchases they make, and on to a certain level. You know, in the US, it's 4 levels. And then on 8 levels, you're getting points that go towards certain ranks that you get to where you get bonuses. And that's where some of the bigger income can come in, where that it becomes residual. So some people have, you know, some people say like they're allergic to MLMs, or they have resistances or blocks or fears. When I came into this, I didn't really know anything about MLMs. I knew it was something to be feared, that it, you know, they had a bad reputation. I didn't really know why. What I found now that I've, you know, participated and been studying it, it's a really beautiful economic model that is taking money that the corporation would otherwise be giving to, you know, stores for retail shelves or advertisers. They're putting it in the pockets of the families who are just sharing their stories with their friends and family. So it's really this incredible model for people to build wealth in a way that we can feel really good about. It's in alignment with our core values. I love that, you know, I have the freedom to do, I set my own hours. I don't have a boss. Nobody tells me what to do. If I want to be with my children, I get to be with my children. If I want to go, you know, be outside, we literally just came back from a hike to a river, and the boys were sliding down, you know, the like a water slide on the river. And then I was like, oh, got to go home for a work call, you know. So it's really nice, has that flexibility. And then that the company has all the same values that I have of helping people, helping the planet, being, you know, smart about our resources, and that they're very, very heart-centered and very much on a mission to be in service. So when you choose to do that, you have tons and tons and tons of resources and mentorship to support you to grow this income if you want to. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. There's no pressure, there's no obligation. We're just here to support each person and what their personal goals are. Does that answer your question? Do you want to ask any more about that?
I think, guys, you can also unmute and just go on like you know, with like real conversation and skip the chat. Like if you have anything,
Absolutely.
I think we're not that many of us here.
Well, I wanted to ask about this. I understood there is this 30-day plan. So my question is, like, how often do you have to proceed with this?
Yeah.
And what is it from? How it is designed? What exactly is in this 30-day plan?
Yeah. So, like I said, I usually do the 30-day plan, maybe once a season. Sometimes I go longer. Like I just did a 30-day program for the spring. It's kind of a good time to do a health reset. A lot of people are doing it. In fact, the company is having its biggest month ever in the history of the company. They've been around for 30 years making superfoods, and it's been an MLM for about 7 years. So they're having tremendous growth right now, and springtime is a very popular time to do a 30-day health reset. And then after that, each month, I take some of the superfoods, but it's not like a cleanse. It's not like a health reset. It's just a supplement to my day. I might have a shake for breakfast. I might have a shake for lunch. There's 5. Well, see, the European package is slightly different, so I don't want to give any false information. But I think that I can speak to probably the main products that I think are the same. And then we can get you resources to learn more about, in Europe, they call it the Infinity Pack, is the closest to what we call the ultimate lifestyle transformation. So the key products are, one of them is called the Super Aminos 23. And these are amazing. These are the only product that Purium doesn't make. It's actually made by an Italian doctor. And he designed these to help coma patients build muscle mass, even when they're just lying there. So it's a pre-digested protein source, aminos, you know, the building blocks of the human body and of all bodies. And they help you build muscle even when you're not working out. They give you energy. They do cellular repair. So they're incredible. And if you are plant-based or are interested in going plant-based, they're a really powerful protein source. They're actually a really powerful protein source anyway, because they're 99% bioavailable, whereas animal protein and other protein sources might be 36% bioavailable. And then your liver and kidneys have to process the waste and work. So the Super Aminos 23 actually bypass your digestive system. So that's one of the main products. Those are amazing. And you can take those 1 to 3 times a day, depending on what schedule you're following. The other one is the Power Shake. This is probably our most popular product. And I'm pretty sure that's this, I don't know if it has a different name in Europe, but I know that there is the same product there. It's a green drink that tastes delicious. So it's a blend of grasses and algae and vegetables, but they sweeten it with Lohang Go berry, which is it's also called monk fruit. It's a low glycemic natural sweetener. Everything's organic, everything's pure, everything's natural. Most of it is living foods. It's gluten-free, and it's really yummy. You just mix it with water, shake it in a jar, and drink it, and it's filling and gives you tons of energy and nutrition. So that's kind of those are the main two, and then this other one, the Biomedic, actually I'm curious. Now I want to study is if they have that in Europe, is if it's as needed there, because if Roundup is actually prohibited, maybe you don't have the Biomedic. That's the one that pulls the glyphosate out. So I'll check into that and we can get that information to you. I know one of the products that Europe is very keen on is called Ionic Elements, which I love as well. It's a mineral blend, and it's like a dropper bottle. I take it every day too, and it's amazing. It just really helps mineralize. You know, most of us are mineral. Oh, they are still used. Okay. So yeah, so the Biomedic might be in the Infinity pack. I know the Ionic Elements, and for me, I used to get like black streaks on my teeth because I wasn't getting enough minerals, and I haven't had that problem since I started on the superfoods. So the Ionic Elements, and then another one that's really good about pulling toxins out is chlorella, that I know the European package includes. So beyond that, I have to study a little bit more to know exactly what else is in there.
Apothecary isn't,
yes,
but
I was just gonna say, I bet the apothecary is in there too, which is, it's a single ingredient concentrate. It's just tart cherries, which are the highest source of antioxidant. So, and they're also help the body produce melatonin. So it puts you into this really deep sleep, into the REM state. And that's when your body is replenishing all the cells that were damaged during the day from just everyday stresses, you know, mental stresses, cell phone use, you know, whatever, just the things we normally go through. We go into that deep REM state, and our body's going to naturally start to rebuild and make brand new cells. But most people these days aren't going into that deep sleep, so they're not replenishing the cells naturally. So when you drink this tart cherry before bedtime, you go into that deep sleep, and then you wake up really refreshed. And therefore it's anti-aging, it's anti-inflammatory, it's amazing. So I know that one's included too. And they might have the herbal blend that is an intestinal cleanser. It's like a colon cleanse. That's the other one that we have in our pack. It's called the Super Cleanser in the US. We have to look up and see what it's called. There are many other videos about the European products. As I said, this is new for me to discover, but I'm really excited to discover. We just had a woman in Austria just have tremendous success in the last few months in the company. And I'm personally excited to see what we can discover about Europe for my own Swedish family to see, because I haven't really explored it yet. So those are the most of the products that I know about. And there's no obligation to keep going after you do a 30-day health reset, but most people continue to see their results improve if they stay on the basic. Usually it's in the US, we call it the core four. It's the apothecary, the biomedic, the power shake, and the aminos, just once a day going forward. So that's something that we do every day. And that's how we continue to experience the health benefits. So it's more of a lifestyle shift than it is like a one-time thing. And then you can do a 30-day health reset like myself, like sometimes 4 times a year, maybe twice a year, you know, whatever you feel. Some people who are really toxified will do it, and then they'll do another one right away, and can keep going because it's that safe, and it's very gentle and gradual, but very powerful.
Hi, I'm going to ask a kind of like question on, like you already partially answered, but I'm just wondering, if I say had only that reset program, do you have any research, or because you keep telling that people want to go on, but say if I choose just to do that reset program, how long the effects would last in your studies maybe, or from feedback that people have?
Well, you know, it really depends on what you choose as your lifestyle afterwards too, right? If you are eating processed foods and, you know, maybe having lots of alcohol and sugar and different things, and then go right back to it, probably the effects won't last a very long time. And some people will do a 30-day and they won't stay on the products. And then, 6 months later or a year later say, oh my gosh, I need to do that again. I felt so good. I need to do it again. And so, people are different. Does that answer your question? Like, it's really hard to say. There's no like one size fits all, because there's so many factors that influence how you're going to feel and how the effects are going to stay with you.
Yeah, that does answer. Maybe I should rephrase it, minimum time frame. Say if like you have the worst lifestyle,
Yeah.
will there be any after effects, lasting after effects, and how long would they last if you have that kind of information?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you'd measure that, really. Even the individual person. I had a woman who, I remember she tried it and she said, I feel the best I've ever felt in my entire life. This is amazing. And she never stayed on the products. And I always wonder, gee, like she just said she felt the best she's ever felt. How come she doesn't want to keep going? But maybe she experienced enough that, it's still lasting for her. I don't know. I really think everybody's different. But I definitely think that most people, receive the benefits by continuing. And that's really, I can mostly speak from my own experience and the stories of people that I've heard and watched, which is mostly people who have stayed on it. And then, like I said, I do have some people who come back, and say, oh, I need to do that again. That felt so good. I'm ready again.
Yeah, I think Eva maybe had this this idea at the back of the head that like a bit of a fear to get addicted to it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just food. At the end of the day, it's just food. It's just food and herbs. So I'm still eating food. I don't plan in this lifetime necessarily to stop. So it's more like, what food are you eating now? And it's comparing. I know as a nursing mom, I would often feel hungry right after nursing. And I would say, oh my gosh, I feel so hungry. What can I eat right now that is going to give me quick energy? And I would often make myself a bowl of cereal, probably because that was my comfort food. I grew up having lots of cereal as a child. And so I would make a bowl of cereal to quickly fill in. There's not much nutrients, it's fairly empty. So it might have made me not hungry, but it definitely didn't fill me. It didn't give me that vitality and give me that energy I needed. So now I can drink a shake and feel like so filled up. So am I addicted to that? I definitely prefer that to a bowl of cereal. I definitely prefer that to, chips and candy bars and, some other less nutrient dense foods. Do I still think it's great to eat whole, fresh, homemade meals? Absolutely. And if I, once our farm is fully, all our soil is remineralized and we're cooking all of our meals and living in community and making all these beautiful feasts for every meal, I probably won't, feel as drawn to this. Or but some people are like, even then, many people are like, I feel like I'm gonna want this for life. So I'm just staying open. For now, I feel super grateful for these superfoods in my life. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Forgive me for having skeptical mind. It's just the way I operate. So I need
great.
to kind of like
I welcome skepticism.
have answers to questions. So my what I was thinking when you did the presentation about the volcano ashes, So I'm just imagining that obviously there are more and more people who use these products, and if they are super clean and organic, how is that sort of managed in terms of where are they, where exactly are they grown? And yeah, because if it's just small batches, I imagine it's easier to do. But then if it's more and more,
Yeah.
how is the production making sure that it is pure and where is it grown?
Yeah, absolutely. I welcome all skepticism. I was the same way. And I think that anybody who's, who's a critical thinker is going to have these really good questions. And I'm here to help you get all your answers. I'm going to let my dog out real quick. Get all your questions satisfied. And I think somebody who is skeptical and can ask these questions and then can find satisfaction with this, that's really powerful. So bring them on. So I had the same question. I said, well, what happens when we run out of this? And the owner, the founder of these products, he's a real visionary. He saw this food crisis, decades ago. He saw like, wow, especially in the United States, like we are headed for a disaster with the way that food is killing people. And he, at that point, really committed his life to, I'm going to create the most effective and powerful solution to reach the most amount of people with good, clean, organic food in a country that's moving in the opposite direction. So I asked, well, isn't this going to run out if we're in such great growth and there's such a demand for this? Isn't this going to like cap out really quickly? And the truth is he's planned so far into the future that we're probably only at like 10% capacity of what he's planned for. So these farms are in Utah, hundreds of miles away from any industrial pollutants. And these are ancient lava beds, so it's not an active volcano or anything like that. And so he's been working with this family farm, and so they've planned for this. That's all I know, is that that they've planned for it, and that this movement is also helping more and more farmers financially support their farms, like ourselves. I don't necessarily plan to grow food for Purium because I'm out in Hawaii and it's different. It's not really what I want to do. But I imagine that they're, planning to acquire more land and just be able to expand in that way.
I can see that Iveta had some question about the digestive problems. Maybe we can look into that as well.
Yeah. So if you're on Facebook, we have a group called the Core 4 Nutrition Launch Group. And it's an amazing resource because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in there and stories and testimonials. And you can research anything like, any digestive issue. We have acid reflux, could be the equivalent of what you're talking about. And it definitely,
what I was
yeah. And I mean, I had some of that even when I was pregnant, where it comes back up. And it's absolutely addressed with these superfoods. That's an issue of inflammation. It's an issue of alkalinity. All of these superfoods help our bodies become alkaline. And then just, help move things through. So again, part of it is the superfoods, and part of it is how the superfoods help us make dietary lifestyle choices going forward. That's also going to help with that. So one of the things that Ilse can do, or that anybody here is welcome to join that group. It's open to anyone who wants to learn more. You can go into that group and type in, acid reflux, and you'll see all these stories of people's testimonials and recommendations, products that they've used and techniques they've used to help with that. But mostly it's always the same. It's that 30, most people start with the 30-day program to just start, that gut health reset. Yeah, and digestive issues are so common. I mean, I've had it my whole life too, and most people do. So it's great to have solutions. It's great to be part of a company that's just been providing so many solutions for people, especially in the past year.
How much does it cost, the 30-day program? And then I guess obviously everything's on the website, but just to give an idea, what's the budget?
That is a great question that I should have looked up before this call. So we'll have to get you the information, at least as far as the European prices. And because there's a warehouse in Germany that will ship to the EU. And then the US, which some people actually do order in the US and have it shipped to the US, to the EU, but they have to make those arrangements on their own through usually a friend or family member who's willing to ship it over. So that's what Ilse is waiting on, and fingers crossed it's going to work for her. I know that it worked for somebody in Spain that I worked with, and it did take him a long time to receive his products. So ordering through Germany, through the, it's called Platinum Europe is the website, Platinum Biz, I think, something like that. We can get you the website. And the prices are on there, and obviously, I guess it's all in euros. So I'm not exactly familiar with this exact price.
I think I checked it up because Robin had a question on the Facebook group, no, on the messenger, that it was like, I think 525 euros for the infinite pack, and in America is 300. I think I paid 300 euros for the ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is the same. But then I had the shipping, which also costs, but it was still cheaper, and it was more. I found it at that time when I ordered, I found it just more understandable because the Europe side wasn't still that clear for me. But yeah, it's around that.
Europe is it's still building.
Yeah, very much still building.
Mm-hmm. But people have been using it and building with it. So there's something there. I have a feeling it's just going to keep getting better and better there, because I'm hearing a lot more people working with Europe lately than I ever did in the last 4 years.
Yeah, and it's basically it is like a protocol for 30 days where you actually have like 2 meals, right? You basically could have like 2 meals like within the protocol. So I just remember somebody comparing the amount that you spend in grocery store, in a month, that it's actually more than the protocol would cost you, Yeah. But that was America. I don't know. The Europe is a bit different because it's a bit more expensive, and yeah.
Yep. Many people report that they save money on their grocery bill with this package because of all the processed foods they're not buying, all the, maybe addictions or cravings that we're not buying, or going out for meals, all of that changes, and it's just a very simplified. And you're also getting more nutrition. So you're not as hungry, and you're not needing as much other foods. So that's part of it. I know for me, the cost was a challenge for a long time. I kind of saw and knew about it, but it was not in my budget. And that was one of the reasons that I became curious about the business. And I guess if I want to keep going with these products, I kind of knew it wasn't the kind of thing that I just did one time, that I would want to keep on a maintenance program And I knew I couldn't afford that. So that's one of the reasons I took a look at the business and said, well, I guess I'm going to have to share. I'm going to have to learn about how does this whole thing work. It was all new to me, but I was open to that idea. And then of course it's turned into a very successful income stream for our family. So that's another way to look at it, is that it's an investment, and it can also turn into an income stream.
Yeah, and Eva, you're not asking, but I'm just asking for you because Eva is like preparing for her 100 miles run in August, and maybe you are curious about how it can support you in this athletic journey, you know, because I think it can really, like, when I thought about you, I was like, no, you need this, you know, but that's just me, you know. Maybe you have a question about that as well. No.
I'm just going to correct that it's kilometers. Like
I figured that.
I have to start small.
Okay, yeah.
Still though, that's still impressive.
Yeah.
We actually had a company-wide Zoom like this, all from two athletes, a mother and daughter duo, who talked all about how these products support. First, they talked about the 30-day program. And then they also, we have a set of athletes products that help with workouts. So pre-workout and a post-workout recovery protein shake. So they talked about how the two products go, you know, together to really help athletes with their performance. And I've experienced that too. I use the athletes products for every workout and they're absolutely amazing. But I definitely recommend starting with the gut health reset in order to get more out of your food and get more out of the athletes products, because you're absorbing and assimilating more. So if you wanted to see that replay, that was a great presentation today.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody else? Any questions? Because I think we should like round up, right?
Yep.
It's an hour already.
Any last questions? Well, I'll just close it out and say it's an amazing time to put ourselves first and really make that choice to take care of ourselves. It's not something that many of us were raised to celebrate, is putting ourselves first or giving to ourselves or taking care of our own needs. And yet it's really what's giving people the ability to, you know, have a sustainable lifestyle, to have sustainable energy, to be able to show up for our families, for our work, for our passions, for our dreams. So it's a beautiful time, you know, and if not now, when, and if not you, who, and we're here to support you. And, you know, again, get any questions answered. And if the time is right for you to dive in, then we're here to support you in your journey. There's really great support systems as you go to get questions answered and understand what your body's experiencing, and, you know, hear stories from other people. So thanks for being here and taking the time to learn more. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining and sharing.
Yeah.
I had actually the last question.
Okay.
If I want to order, so I contact Ilse, so she would receive her benefits, or how does it work practically? Or I go to the website, or
Yeah, so you're going to go to the website and she'll help you, you know, identify the pack that is going to be the right pack for you to get started. And then it'll ask you for a referral code or a discount code or a gift code. I don't know exactly how they say it on that website. And she'll give you her code. It's the same as her Instagram, Bear is Beautiful. So, right, did I say it right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that will get you your discount and then link link it to her account.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, have a wonderful day over there in Europe. I'm going to go get my boys to bed here and call it a night. And let us know if you could use any more support or have any more questions. And thanks for having me, Ilse.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so- yeah.